Hello everyone, I'm Al-Saleh, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the evolution of the poster. Here's a quick look at the table of contents and what we're going to be going through. And let's go ahead and discuss a bit about the poster. So posters are one of the few mediums of advertisement that are still prevalent 2 centuries after they were developed as a form of graphic communication. All current movie releases are accompanied by posters, and all public and political events as well. Posters are even used in promoting on-campus events, policies, and student council events right here at our university. And while the poster was originally once just a form of advertisement, it can now be seen as a work of art or an expression of oneself, amongst other things. And to truly understand how posters evolved and developed, we must go back in time and view their evolution in design, color, and the new elements they introduced. The first poster we'll be looking at is La Goulet au Moulin Rouge by Henri Toulouse-Lautrec in 1891. The poster was the first to be created to advertise both the dancers and at the time the new dance hall named Moulin Rouge. La Goulet, however, is the figure depicted in red and white. She was the main headliner at the time. Some of the unique design elements for the poster mentioned above are the dark silhouettes in the background, which are placed to stress the dancer's importance. There is also the sharp red color on the top half of the dancer's outfit, which stands out and makes it pop, and what is also interesting to note is the same intense red is used for the poster's typography in order to achieve the same effect. When looking at the typography, we can see the usage of repetition, positioning, and color to depict the essential elements of this poster. The next poster is Cinématographie Lumière by Henri Brespot, which came 4 years later in 1896, and it is also known as the world's first public screening movie poster. When comparing this poster to the one prior, common elements of emphasis such as the blurring of the figures in the background and the main title being made to stand out are still prevalent. However, there is no shortage of new elements, as we see less text accompanied by larger font sizes. There is also a gradient applied to the title, which shows a similarity between the fading of the color and the figures depicted. In 1896, the poster for Don Quixote by the Beggarstaffs was also created and released. Unlike the previous two, this poster opts to display its elements in grayscale in order to keep the printing price low and the number of posters high. What makes this poster crucial to the overall evolution of poster design is instead of seeing more detail, we are simply shown the subject in main focus. If La Goulet au Moulin Rouge was split into 2 forms of how it could have evolved, Cinématographie Lumière would be the evolution towards detail, while at the same time, Don Quixote takes it a different way with a focus on the essential elements. Don Quixote also takes contrast and design planning to a new level when it comes to the white horse and the black windmill, as well as how the typography and its location are planned out based on the positioning of everything, as well as the space provided by the windmill blades. World War I is one of the most critical periods in human history. It ruined the narrative of war being a tremendous and idolized event, but it also helped in the acceleration of having women in the workforce. The last 2 posters to be mentioned were created during this period, as the definition of a poster underwent rapid changes when it came to its new purpose of advertising recruitment on a scale never seen before. Step Into Your Place, printed by David Allen and Sons in 1915 London, was one of the first of its kind to use a unique style of movement to get its message across. The Parliamentary Recruiting Committee published the poster during a time when tension existed between the different social classes. And to help put aside the ongoing feud between the social classes and to focus more on the significant threat, the poster depicts many people from different backgrounds slowly transitioning into soldiers on the same level. Step Into Your Place also shows many degrees of separation between the figures. However, this time, the soldiers remain visible until the point when they're not, especially when it comes to their detail. The red frame and blue bolded font draw your attention to the poster and are also a symbol of patriotism, as they are the same color as the flag of the United Kingdom. What is interesting to note about Step Into Your Place is that it shares similar key design elements to both Don Quixote and Cinématographie Lumière, in its own way, of course. As the poster has both gradation to show movement and scale, like cinematography Lumiere, and at the same time its usage of negative space is a bit similar to Don Quixote. There is still a place in the line for you. Will you fill it? Published in London by the Parliamentary Recruiting Committee in 1915, it is the last poster we'll be looking at and analyzing. This poster does two crucial things when it comes to how it displays the advertisement of recruitment and its typography. First and foremost, the poster targets the one reading it by making you appear with the clearest white stroke and red coloring, as well as the clearest drop shadow, which allows it to be separated from the remainder of the text. Secondly, the poster uses language such as man and fit to not only emphasize the audience they're targeting, but also to elicit a response by doubling down on their pride. When it comes to the design of There Is Still a Place in the Line for You, Will You Fill It?, a lot of the same elements from the previous posters mentioned remain constant, as we once again see an improvement in the detail of the figures as they go further back. However, this time the figures also escape the frame. The figures themselves are of many different age groups placed on the same level. As it was released during the same time period as the previous poster, they may have attempted to dull down the animosity between the social classes as seen with prior posters. One of the new elements that I found interesting about this poster, however, was how the lining of the figures seems to have evolved, this time being depicted as going far beyond the poster's frame, as well as the linear perspective that points to the left almost like an arrow, which might open the possibility of a new function for this poster, which may have been to provide directions to the nearest recruitment office. To conclude, the style, typographic treatment, detail, and color evolve in many different ways during these time periods. When comparing the first poster to the last poster, they have their own unique charm despite the many various changes. What is also interesting to note is that some of the elements remain unchanged even to this very day, such as the usage of red-colored texts or borders to pull viewers' attention. After looking through all of the works done in the past, I think we can all agree that posters are a way to advertise and a form of art that will be around either physically or digitally for many years to come. Thank you.